Leave the girls alone. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Why? Leave us alone. Why are we here? What am I talking about? You know, there's a conversation happening in the metaverse across all platforms. There is just this Black Hairstylist conversation happening, and it makes me sick to my stomach. It really makes me sick to my stomach. I don't like it. You know, I try to stay out of it, and I will say, and I've said it a few times, like, once the pandemic happened, something happened to me where, like, oh my bang, something happened to me where it's like I'm very selective where I insert my opinions, and that's online and that's in real life. I make sure that what I have to say isn't adding to the fodder and just piling on more bullshit. I want to make sure what I have to say is either effective, entertaining, teaching, educating. Like, that is just the goal of public speaking. I'm not just going to, and there's this thing, right? Like, as a creator, you'll find yourself on another hamster wheel. I don't like it. You'll find yourself on a hamster wheel of create, and before you know it, you're just in the sea of mess. And I don't like it. I don't care about so many opinions. I don't care about so many things that happen with celebrities and influencers and reality stars. I just don't care anymore. So I'm very, very, very selective with what I speak on. And so as of late, the conversation, you know, I find the conversation went from, and it's, bear with me, this may be out of order, I may have to edit it in order, but I feel like the media landscape and all of it's connected. It went from black women ain't this, according to Kevin Samuels and his Legion of Doom fuck niggas. So it's this whole tirade against black women. Then you have the soft life happening in that conversation and the aesthetic, which we will talk about. And it's related. I'm gonna swing it around. And then there's the anti-soft life girls, and then it comes around. I think we got to this place of Black Hairstylists ain't shit due to the soft life and just women being authentically themselves. Y'all hate black women. Y'all love, say hi, Blue. Y'all love hating black women. Like that, if there is a train to jump on, and I don't care what color, what race, what creed, what gender you are, the black woman hate train, that's a long motherfucking train. And this conversation is cyclical. It happens once every 2 years. It comes back around, and I am tired. As a cosmetologist, as a hairstylist of over now 15 years, retired, I'm still into the beauty world. We are tired. This is really like why I quit, right? So, and I was thinking, should I incorporate videos of the TikToks and the girls going off about this. I don't know, because I don't even, like I said, I don't want to add to the bullshit. But I am going to stand up for my trade. I'm going to stand up for the girls, okay? And I don't think y'all realize it. Again, there's this push to create content, and it's easy to jump on a trending topic. But just make sure that what you're saying is constructive and not just trying to be viral for viral's sake. Because again, we have to analyze how we participate in social media. We have to analyze how we participate in consumerism. We have to analyze how we participate in capitalism. And so it really made me sick to my stomach, because where the conversation is going, it went from, hey, these are ways we can help these people out, to let me humble you, black girl. Let me put you in your place. You think you could drive a G-Wagon? Not with my money. You think you can be in a skyrise downtown Atlanta? Not with my money. Who do you think you are to live this fabulous life of the Jada Waitas and the, you know, these girls? Because we see now hair can be extremely lucrative, extremely profitable, and the girls are giving. You know, we saw this revolution of the mom and pop beauty shop where the girl, and that was a problem, right? That was a problem of going to the beauty shop and seeing your hairstylist not done to the duns. And it's like, oh, I remember that conversation. And with every generation, I don't care if it's rap, I don't care what it is. It's like the old are gonna shit on the new, and continuously. And I refuse to be that person. I don't care what it is. I think what's for me is for me, and what's not for me is not for me. So when I was coming up, the sew-in technique was newer. It's not, nothing's new, first of all, but it was gaining more popularity. And so the girls who do the, you know, the natural hair was like, well, that's gonna rip your hair out. You shouldn't do this. And people were trying to tell us what to do and what not to do. And now that I'm a veteran sew-in architect, you know, the girls are now telling, like the older hairstylists are trying to tell the girls, well, you know, the lace is gonna do this and da-da-da. No. Leave the girls alone. Leave people alone. Leave us alone. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna try to stay calm. But like I said, it's, the conversation is getting to an ugly place, and it feels like Kevin Samuels died, and for lack of better words, you hoes rised up. How you gonna charge $800 for some box braids? How you gonna, y'all think y'all getting over charging this much for some tape ins? All you doing is taping it in. How you think you gonna charge a squeeze in fee? How you think you gonna charge a parting fee? Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Like, I don't even understand. Why is it a conversation? I don't, and I, like I said, I find myself every couple years saying the same thing. Y'all don't question Hermes. Y'all don't question Louis Vuitton. Y'all don't question Balenciaga. You don't question Beyonce when it comes time to buy them tickets. So why is it you question us? The people who give you the esteem, the confidence, the therapist. Like, as a hairstylist, we're so many things. But it's like, but you can only get this breadcrumb. And for me, I don't subscribe to that. Who's for me is for me. Who I promote to is who I promote to. My price is my motherfucking price. Like, the reason why I became a hairstylist, because nothing about my personality fits a corporate anything. I need to go when I please. I need to make my schedule as I please. I need to make my prices as I please. That is the draw to cosmetology. I think there are pros and cons with every career, but the pros of why I chose hair was because I'm fucking good at it. And again, I get to create the life that I want. I can wear what I want. I can talk about what I want. And so what y'all not finna do is tell these girls how much they can charge. What you not gonna do is tell me how much my time is worth. We lived through a pandemic. That pandemic changed everything. It didn't just change money. It changed, at least for me, the way I look at everything. And one thing, like, we saw currency change. We saw the markets drop. We saw the supply chain drop. And what became the most valuable thing in the world, which always has been, we just don't respect it, is time. My time is the most valuable thing I have because I don't even own it. And I have this thing, and once I spend it, I can't get it back. I don't care if, and that's on either side of anything. I think everybody, regardless if you're in corporate America, regardless if you, again, have a trade, you have, you're an entrepreneur, my time is the most valuable thing I have, and I will be compensated for my time one way or another. And nobody in this world, on this earth, gets to dictate what I do in my time. I don't give a fuck. I will be on the street before anybody can come and tell me what my time is. I have a family. These women have kids. Like, everything is different. And so I find that grace is given everywhere else in the world. But when it comes to the hairstylist, like, y'all don't respect it. So during the pandemic, I lost so many family members that I'm like, I'll be damned if I spend my entire 30s and 40s behind a chair and my children are at home and my husband is at home. And again, people are dying. I'd rather be at home with them. I can make money online. So if I'm gonna leave my home, leave my children, it's gonna be worth my motherfucking time. I don't care if it's a podcast. I don't care if it's a YouTube. I don't care what it is. When I go to brunch with my friends, I'm getting something. So why on earth do you think anybody want to sit behind y'all head for less than what I want to get paid for? It's not happening, baby. I saw this girl complaining that she didn't want to pay $800 for box braids. Box braids can literally take anywhere between 4 hours to 8 hours to 12 hours, depending on the size. If I charge $275 for a sew-in and it takes me 2.5 hours, that's $100 an hour, sweetie. Do the math. Like, do the math. I understand why the girls are charging what they're charging. But guess what? On the flip side, if you don't understand, if you don't have the coin, don't go. Look how that works. You've lost nothing, you've gained nothing. Don't go. If you don't like somebody's policies, regardless if you agree or not, don't go. Nobody, and this is the heart of the conversation. Again, all of the internet will pressure you to think that you aren't enough and that you have to have an aesthetic and you have to give this thing. You don't. Unplug. I do social media breaks so often because you will get wrapped up into a loop of thinking that I have to be something that I'm not. You are fine with your regular ass hair. You do not need weave. Like, I don't know any condition, hair, otherwise, that you need it to live. Meaning that if you don't have this thing, you are physically unable to do a thing. And that's going with even with people who have alopecia, cancers. You can get a wig to make you feel more normal. Again, unless you have, like, this is not a necessity. It's not a utility. It's extra. It's a luxury. You do not need a hairstylist. Everything about me and my channel is about how to get glam on a budget. I'm a hairstylist and I charge what I charge. But girl, in the age of TikTok, in the age of Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, the girls are giving away everything. Everything. So there's the beauty supply, there's Amazon. If you can't afford $800 braids, go get you a $4.99 pack of braided hair and braid your hair. Have your cousin do it. Or do nothing. Like, these things don't have to be things. So I just don't get it. Y'all just want to shit on black women. I worked in a white salon. I worked in black hair salons. Let me tell you something, in that white salon, they didn't have these conversations. They're not conversations. And let me tell you something, every single time, like, no client paid the same price because it was mostly color. But it's understood. I want this thing. I want your expertise. So I'm going to pay you because that's what I want. And if you don't want it, you don't go. I don't see people lined outside a steak market telling them people, oh, y'all steaks cost too much. You need to adjust your prices to afford me. I don't see people lined up outside Louis Vuitton. You need to adjust the price of this artsy bag because I want it and I need it. And your price must reflect my income. Capitalism don't work like that. Capitalism works where there are in this consumer market, there's low end, there's high end, and there's competition, right? So in the same way Louis Vuitton can exist, Shein can exist. Look at that. I can pay $10 for a shirt. I can pay $300 for a shirt. Or If you like me, I can make my own shirt. I can go to Rainbow and get a shirt and look better than both you hoes. So I'm just confused on the conversation. I saw one girl and she was like, you know, these Atlanta hairstylists, they getting out of hand. I saw a girl that offered teeth whitening, this, and this, all in the same place. That can't be legal. Don't go. Like, why would you take time out of your day to analyze a stranger living in their skin, in their life, doing what the fuck they want to do, hustling? How does that bother you? You don't want your teeth whitened? Don't go. I hate it. Y'all hate black women. There's this pressure, like I said, with the soft life, and I don't like that either. I subscribe to the soft life, but it is not an aesthetic. It is a mindset. It is rejecting ideals that black women, in order to be happy, have to struggle. And that can look like whatever you want to you. It isn't getting a camera and documenting your whole life. It is when problems arise, instead of aggressively attacking them, it's finding a smarter, safer, softer way to get a better outcome. Because the stress of struggle will kill you. That is the soft life. We watched our mothers struggle. We watched our grandmothers struggle. There are people who, again, it creates a brain fart when you can see a woman living softly and comfortably. And a lot of women are like, well, how's she doing that? Because I have to work, I have to do this, I have to do that. For me, soft life can mean putting foam on my coffee because that brings me joy in the morning. It could be taking a walk to a lake because it's peaceful and calm, and that increases serotonin in my body, and I'm calmer for the rest of the day. Whereas the old struggle mindset would be, well, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to put into my hormones to make me better. That is what, and for some girls, that means buying luxury items. I remember having conversations with my grandmother. She couldn't understand that we pay to go out to eat. Like, she was like, y'all paying to go to these expensive restaurants? Yes. Because my grandmother saved and saved and saved and died. And now it didn't give what they thought it was going to give in terms of, I'm going to save all my money, and then I'm going to leave this lump of wealth in my family. I don't know, because that didn't happen. So it's like, while you were here on this earth, you could have splurged a little bit. And she did. She did. My grandmother was the glam girl. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, there was this notion of the boomer generation and the generations before that they didn't spend money the way that we did. So for some girls, retail therapy is a thing. For me, baby, I will go in Dollar Tree and ball out. Okay? So it's like we're taking, like, my grandmother couldn't understand we were going on vacations. Like, they thought that was something frivolous. But for us, we're like, we're going to live good now. We're not going to wait. Like, they waited till they retired. So you work from the age of 20 to maybe 60 to retire. And then you got like 17 years to spend that wealth or do what you want to do. And they end up doing nothing because you old as fuck and you just want to watch TV. So I'm not, like, as millennials and Gen Z, we're like, that's not all the way smart. And I'm not saying that splurging or whatever you're doing is completely healthy or completely right. But with every generation, there's going to be an extreme pendulum swing in the opposite direction. I don't know that it will ever be normal, but I know for me, I subscribe to the soft life because I don't want to struggle no more. I don't want to fight no more. I'm tired of fighting. As a black girl, we fight. I'm sick of it. I don't want to fight nobody. So even when it comes to this hairstylist situation, I'm not fighting with nobody about nothing. If a restaurant say you got to do X, Y, and Z, you can't split the check. If that don't work for me in my life and the way I'm set up, I'm not going. There isn't a conversation to be had. Hermes tells the girls, you want this $15,000 bag? before we let you buy this bag, you got to spend $15,000 on our website or in our store before we even consider letting you buy the thing you want. And that practice has been in existence for years. And we can get into like what they're doing, but y'all don't argue with them. And it's racist and classist as fuck. But you mad at the girl who has to sit behind your head for 3 hours standing on her feet. 4 hours standing on her feet, not eating. Like, if I tell you the health factors, the negative health factors that go, like, I had to tell my niece and some of my family, like, hair, it looks cute on the internet, but it is a disgusting, dirty job. We're dealing with people's body odors, bad hygiene. Cleaning weave is disgusting. It's nasty. It smells. We gotta deal with girls who been just left the gym, ain't washed, like everybody ain't, like we have this way of thinking the world looks like our lives. It don't. Everybody isn't the perfect client. Everybody isn't you. So like I said, within a day, I've seen 10 different energies, 10 different body smells, 10 different hair types. Like, in my brain, as a hairstylist, we're constantly problem solving. Again, in life, there are choices. Nothing, well, in America, I'm not gonna say in life, because everybody doesn't have the same, you know, freedom we have to do what we want to do. But something like hair is a choice. It is not a necessity. You can do your own relaxer at home. You can do your own silk press at home. You can very well shave your hair off and do motherfucking nothing. And still slay the girls. Like, that's not, it's not a thing. But y'all don't argue with those people. I have had to hire lawyers where they will do the simplest thing and push a button and charge you a fucking $1,500 an hour. Why? You're paying for their expertise, you're paying for their education, you're paying for their time. Because guess what? You can go to court and represent yourself. The cost of you coming out on top with the lawyer is higher. So you're paying for that convenience. You're paying for that safety, right? And you can get, I will continue this conversation. This is just an introduction into my thoughts on this whole situation. There are just these really high expectations on us hairstylists. They're really high expectations. There's the Amazon effect where you want things delivered now. So I see people talking about like all these fees, the squeezing fee. I didn't even squeeze in people, period. So you lucky if you can find someone that's willing to take you and charge you. I'm not doing it. When you go to a doctor's office, that is a tentative time that you have. And the same works with dentists, and the same works with hairstylists. Why? The same works with mechanics. Because every person's different, every need is different. And even if someone thinks like, oh, I just want a shampoo and a wash, I can see you and see you have some scalp issues, you want a haircut, you want this, that time slot went from maybe an hour and a half to 3 hours. So and when you're dealing with a block of people, one deviation from the set schedule, which you really can't have one, is going like a 15-minute deviation will set you back 2 hours. So to squeeze you in because you have an emergency, because the girls have emergencies. The main ones complaining about the squeezing fee, you complain about it because you want to get on somebody's nerves. And I tried it and my ears would be fuming and steaming because I'm like, I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have did it. In my brain, I'm constantly thinking about what time am I going home? When is this going to wrap up? Right? Because I want a normal life too. I don't want to spend every single day of my life leaving the salon at 11 o'clock. I have kids. And even if I didn't have kids, I want to go home. Like, you go to your job and you know I'm getting off at 5 o'clock. And if your boss come to you and say, hey, I need you to do this extra work and blah, 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 9 times out of 10 you're going to say no, or you're going to say how much I'm getting paid to do it. Extra work, you don't do extra work for free. And even, like I said, as a hairstylist, I may be getting paid for that thing, but now I'm stressed out. So now and you don't want a stressed out hairstylist. She's not going to do her best work. But y'all got emergencies. You got clubs. You got concerts. You got this. You got that. And in your mind and in your world, that is like the world stops and everybody should do what you need. If you want me to show up, baby boo, you paying me. I don't care. Like, that's where I don't give a fuck. I don't care. My time costs money. That's before I even think about what you need. Everybody in this world today is bald-headed to me. Bitch, you bald. I don't care. I don't care. So if I'm going to, again, step away from this beautiful, soft, comfy life that I built for myself, and that's no shade, and this is not to my girls. My girls, we go together real good. We go together real good. It got to the point where I'm not even taking new clients because there's so many surprises and these weird expectations. My girls have been coming to me for 8 years. Like, every policy that I developed came from a bad situation that I want to protect my energy and my space from. So if I say, if you want to sew in, you have to get a net from me, that means that if you don't like nets, then I'm not your girl. And we, like, don't even waste your time, pay the deposit, and come sit in my seat if you're going to say, I can't get a net, because I'm not going to do it. That's not even up for debate. So every policy, like, there's a conversation about, oh, well, they got all these rules, I don't want to do makeup and take pictures and blah, blah, but that's how you got to my seat. Because you see the pictures that I posted online. So me collecting and creating content, that's what is required of the job today. And it's not that hard. And no, I'm not saying it's a requirement, but if that's a problem for you, don't go. If you see on the girl's website that I need you to come with your brows done and some lip gloss and a plain color shirt, and you can't do that today, don't go. Find somebody else. You are not required. You do not own that person, and that person does not own you. You can spend your money wherever you want to spend your money, however you want to spend your money. I don't understand why it's a conversation. Again, I don't. It's giving black women, because I don't even really hear this conversation going to the black boy hairstylists. And that is a nuanced conversation that we need to have in a very safe space. But the way that clients treat men and women in these spaces, and the clients are mostly women, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. But there's this thing of, oh, are they licensed? Are they not? Is it in a house? Is it in a salon? Is it a suite? It's their time. I don't give a fuck if I see someone washing a car. If I like it and I want to pay for it, I'm gonna pay that person what they want, or I'm not gonna do it. I just don't get it. And it's giving, sit down, black girl. You think you're doing something, but you're not. We gonna show you by other black women. And that's where it gets disgusting. That's where it gets nasty. I know everybody ain't balling, and that's cool, but you can also go to the beauty supply and get a $20 wig, and it looks just like this. You can go to Amazon and find hair and do your due deals and get great hair. You can go on AliExpress. If you don't want to pay my price, you don't want to pay her price, you can do the research to get what you need. If you can't do makeup and you don't want to pay somebody $150, you can sit with yourself in front of a mirror while you watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, while your kids is asleep. When you put them down to sleep, you can say, I'm going to practice my makeup. And the first time is going to be bad, the second time is going to be bad, the third time might be bad. And even if the fourth and fifth time are bad, then that's when you say, let me find someone to teach me. Like, there are no excuses. But y'all just want to, it's also giving Karen energy. You'll find an oppressed group of people and they need to put that shit out on somebody else. And oftentimes I had to be like, it's a real thing. I would get older black ladies come to me because they wanted to micromanage me, right? Like, this was a special, and it's weird because it would happen often, especially with women over 50. Like, either they at home getting oppressed by their husband, or they at work getting oppressed. So then they would come, and this is a time where they feel like, I control this situation. It would get real nitpicky. It would be bad. I would have to like block these ladies. But that's what it's giving. It's like, it's giving that you got to put that energy on somebody and somewhere where you can control. But let me tell you one thing. You can't fucking control me. You cannot. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like my prices, I'm not for you. And it's okay. It's totally fine. You don't have to do it. There's a big piece of, like I said, all criticism, I don't think it's bad. But I don't think this is criticism. This is a trending topic. And you have to be very mindful of what you're saying if you really want to help someone. I would get clients all the time from other bad hairstylists, or they had bad experiences, and my first thing would be, one, I'm not fixing nothing that nobody else did. Everybody has their own system, their own way of doing things. I'm not going to deconstruct another brain and put that shit back together again. My advice was, you need to go back to them and tell them, client to hairstylist, this is a relationship. Like, I feel like the same, like, you should have that relationship with every service provider that you come in contact with. Whether it's your gynecologist, a nutritionist, a trainer, restaurant. If you don't like the food, you should tell them, hey, this was too cold. Because they may not know. And you're spending your hard-earned money with the time that you can't get back. So what good will it serve you to get on the internet and run your mouth and do nothing, and that person is still doing that, when you could very potentially, again, anybody, if there was ever an issue and it was within the scope, again, of my waiver and things that I can handle and control, no doubt, let's work it out. Because I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. I'm not going to do things perfectly every single time. I'm a human being. So I will always ask them, like, did you tell them? And not like 9 times out of 10, it's like, well, no. There's a way. And again, I think the more we delve into the internet and talking to cameras and phones, the less we actually communicate with human beings. And you're willing to go allow. So you're willing to allow someone to manipulate your follicles, your scalp, your hair, but you're not willing to talk to them. You're willing to allow someone to be up in your vagina and all that stuff. You're not willing to talk to them and tell them that you're uncomfortable or you're hurting. Like, that is how that works. You have to talk to people. And it's not a bad conversation to have, to say like, hey, I'm really hurting right there. Is this a problem? Will this be a problem? If you don't like it before you leave the chair, you need to say something right then and there. And then that determines going forward how you, like, I don't want to deal with someone that I can't talk to. I'm not going to continue to propagate, like, to go populate their business if they're rude to me in a customer service way. But you determine that, right? So and moving from that conversation, if you let someone know, like, hey, this didn't turn out how I needed. I was looking to see X, Y, and Z, and I didn't. Like, that is constructive criticism. You just can't say I don't like. You have to say exactly why, what it used to look like, what it used to feel like. I don't like this. It's too oily, blah, 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 whatever it is. And if that situation goes bad, that tells me we don't work well together. I'm going to hit the Googles, the reviews, leave the review. That is the best teacher for any service professional, any service provider, any restaurant. Leave a review. I used to be that girl that was angry, that was defensive, thought she knew everything, until I read those reviews. Okay? The reviews humbled me. And that's when because I was feeling my gig, feeling my zhuzh, busting them sew-ins in and out. Let's go. And I really wasn't cognizant, because my mind was so focused on get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out. I wasn't cognizant of of, oh, are they comfortable, are they not, just deal with it, da 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 da, until I read those reviews. The thing about Google reviews, you can't take them back unless that person who wrote it deletes it. So that's out there forever. As a business person, I didn't want that, so I had no choice but to change. There are gonna be like ebbs and flows with any business, and pricing will change. That is the way that the world works. That's how inflation works. Inflation affects everybody. But guess what? If I raise my prices too high and people start booking, we adjust. It isn't, and again, if you see someone thriving with these extremely high prices, then obviously that means people are going. It's not your job to tell them how to run their business. The only way you can tell them is not go. That is how businesses shut down. That is how restaurants close. If the service is bad and enough people realize the service is bad and stop going, there is no more business. It is that simple. But I don't think it's that. I think y'all don't like the girls giving. Y'all see black girls living in their skin, and this is other black girls, and you like, I can't do that, so she can't do that. She's got a G-Wagon and I can't even afford a G-Wagon. Why is it that she gets to have one? How dare you? That's what it's giving. Just like Kevin Samuels, that black girl, you ugly, you gonna die alone. How dare you dream for more and better for yourself? Hair is hair, lashes, nails. These are in the black community, in any community, just like grocery stores, just like banks, just like these are the staples in the backbone of community. Why? Because people always need them. And it is a symbiotic relationship. I was saying earlier, the way that you find a hairstylist, it should be the same way you find a therapist, a doctor. You have a list. And you kind of prepare yourself for, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go. So I'm going to have a list of 10 people that I've done research on, that I've gotten reviews from, word of mouth. Hey, so-and-so referred me. Go for something easy. Start off. This is the big thing that's missing from all of this. I don't hear nobody talking about consultations. A consultation will save you money, time, bad experiences. Before you haul off in somebody's seat because you seen a cute picture on Instagram, book a consultation in person or FaceTime, not over the phone. I wouldn't trust it. If someone, again, every person that I had that was new, we established a rapport, a relationship. We got to understand the energy. And I always, as a professional, but on flip side, I've gotten my boobs done. That consultation was so thorough because I had a list of questions. I had a list of concerns. I'm going to put my life in your hands, so I better fucking ask you questions. What's this? What's that? What will this feel like? How much time? Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. That is a big hoop. And the more hoops you jump through, the livelihood of this thing going well is better. So if I've met you and I saw you, 9 times out of 10, you're not just going to cancel on me, like leave me high and dry. But if you just book me, or you book someone willy-nilly in the dark of the night, and you know systems go in the background and things get over misunderstood. Again, if you stand me up on a consultation, which might be $25, at least I wasn't ready to get my hair done today. So back to the drawing board, another consultation. I feel like that happens with doctors, that happens with lawyers. You're gonna go on all these consultations before you make a decision. The same should be done with your hairstylist, because it's a big investment. When you think about the amount of money people spend in a year with their hairstylist, sometimes that's upwards to like $10,000, $15,000 you're going to be spending with this person over the course of a year. So a consultation is necessary. The girls don't want to do that though, because you want to get in and out. You have an emergency today. You want it done now, and that's the problem. That is the problem. Y'all don't want to wait. Like, we are so lost as a society. It doesn't make sense. Y'all have a hard time spending money on quality, but you then want things rushed. It's not making sense. Again, I'm the girl of don't do nothing you don't want to do. Don't do nothing you can't afford. But don't complain then about not being able to afford it, because you don't have to do it. And I'm gonna wrap this up because it's getting long, but I don't like it. I don't like it. And you may not care that I don't like it, but just know, participating in this conversation in the way that you participate, that goes into the way that Black women are dealt with, that are the way that we are handled, the way we handle each other. Y'all don't like Black women either. I said it. Y'all don't. Y'all don't want to see and it's weird because, again, it's like you see the girls like the Jada Waiters living this fabulous life, and I mean, no shade to her, that girl, she's killing it. But it's like, then you have someone really with time and service that they're giving to people, and that's not worth the money. That's not worth the time. That's not worth the conversation. It's weird. It's getting really strange. It's not going good. If you can't afford it, if you don't like the policies, if you don't like the prices, don't go. Stay home. Do your hair at home. Watch some tutorials. Have your cousin do it, your auntie, your sister, your brother. Don't do nothing. If you that girl, slick that shit back and go. But I'm telling you, hair will never be a necessity. It is always a luxury. It is a luxury to go and have someone scratch your scalp. If you need that done and a person doesn't offer that service, don't go. Like, I don't even understand why it's a conversation. And this is the thing, you can go to beauty schools to get your hair done. There are salons up and down streets that are begging for your business. You can go to Walmart, Smart Styles. You can go to Great Clips. There are awesome service providers in those spaces. Y'all don't want to go to Walmart to get your hair done, because it's not giving aesthetic. It's not giving I need to have pictures and good. So you want those things, but you don't want to pay for them. It's not about needing my hair done. It's not about, again, this is the thing I can't live without. No, you want to get online and give, and you can't. And instead of looking at what do I need to do in my life to afford that thing, I'm gonna tell you charge too much. And that's just not how capitalism works. That's just not how consumerism works. You go where you can afford. You go to your ministry. If all you can afford is outfits on Shein, baby, make that shit motherfucking hit. Period. Period. If you can't afford tape-ins or you can't afford eye tips, go get a fall. Go get a wig. Do you like I get so many questions even now still, like, well, what you think about this? Everything not for everybody, baby. The internet makes shit look good all the time. I tell my clients all the time, stop looking at pictures online, because I know how to promote my business so well that this picture is going to look perfect. But that doesn't show you what it feels like, how it moves, how you sleep with it 2, 3, 4 weeks later. Everything ain't for everybody. Read reviews. That's what anything. You shopping on Amazon, read the reviews. So that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. Prices are higher everywhere. A box of Lucky Charms is almost $8. Why would you not think that the other thing, your nails would be higher? Like, everything's higher. With every new technique that comes out, as someone who distributes hair, they charge more. The manufacturer. Tape-ins are more expensive. It may be, again, in your brain, but again, you don't do that when you go to Forever 21. They're probably paying $2 to $3 per item, and you're still gonna pay an inflated price. Everything ain't for everybody. But one thing I know for sure, I hope you leave this situation and think about how you interact with people. Think about how you interact with the internet. Think about your relationship to what you see. Sometimes you need to unplug and you will realize it really ain't that serious. Again, if you see Anything in life, I don't care what it is, a restaurant, a club, a park, you ain't entitled to shit. Don't nobody owe you nothing. So if you can't afford it, it just ain't for you, baby. Go home. Go home. Okay, that's all I gotta say. I don't know how often I can keep this up. I am very pregnant and I just want to get back to my life. I just want things to go back to normal. I have not really had the urge to create. I really wanted to just rest, keep my nerves down. This was nerve rattling, and I see another social media break coming, because every time I come across a TikTok of some girl talking about somebody's prices, I get upset. It triggers me, because I know to the hairstylists out there, keep grinding, keep perfecting your craft. I'm not going to tell you to be passionate about hair, because not everybody who does things are passionate about it. There are plenty of people in corporate jobs doing things that they're not passionate about. So if you want to make money and all you care about is money, do your thing. I'm just going to say, strive to be better, learn from your mistakes. Things that they teach you in school, like, they don't teach you what it's really like doing hair in real time. Like cosmetology school did not prepare me for that. I learned the most, again, my first 2 years in Nashville, and in my first, like, getting to Snob Life. That was the biggest learning lesson of my life. Know your worth, know your value. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do a thing. Don't let anybody tell you you can't charge a thing. I got to Snob Life and I was so, coming to Atlanta, there is this star power. This is a Black Hollywood. You can see anybody, right? And so in this market, I was coming from Nashville and I was charging what I was charging, and Ming Lee said to me, you need to charge more. You're in a better salon, you're surrounded by better people. The people that I attract are willing to pay. And it was very uncomfortable until I really understood why she told me that. I'm worth it. I know I'm good. I know I'm the shit. My sewing will last 8 to 12 weeks. You do not have to leave my chair and do anything. That's me though. But I know my shit. I still don't care. You could, if we comparing again, me and Ming at the time, Ming knew like what she brought and she knew her worth, but it wasn't the sewing. People weren't going to her to like they didn't give a fuck about their hair. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, she knows that. Like, she knows, and she knew, and she would tell us all the time, like, I'm not the best hairstylist, but I give a good experience. And so regardless if you are coming to somebody because they make you feel good, some people, I have had coworkers who've had long-time clients just because they like being around that person, and for those 2-3 hours you get to have a good time, and hey, you get your hair done in the process. So it's not always about hair, right? You want to go to places that make you feel good, not just look good. As a client, again, look for a relationship. Look for, and that is where you build a long-term relationship. And the longer you're with someone, the more they're willing to negotiate and make things work. Like I said, I have very strict rules, but for my girls who are my girls, I'm willing more to accommodate you because we have a relationship. And my goal, again, every head that left my chair was a representation of me. So I'm not just gonna be like one and done and goodbye. That's me. Sorry, I'm gone. But look for a relationship. Have a good time. That 2 to 3 hours, again, make sure that you're in a safe space where you can have a conversation about, hey, this ain't right. This is that. Can we fix it? What does that look like? Right? Because your money is yours. You earned it. We in a new time. I'm not just giving my money to anybody. That's with anything. I'm not gonna go to brunch where they are mean to people. I'm not gonna keep going to restaurants where they're not refilling my drink. Where does that make sense? And guess what? Every time I've had a bad situation, I immediately leave a review. I'm gonna go to their Instagram. I'm gonna go to Yelp. I'm gonna go to Google. And I'm gonna go to my bank. I need my money back. So I hope this was helpful. I hope moving forward, again, I'm going to try to put out, when I feel like it, content about both being a consumer, a creator, and a service provider. I think there's a lot to be said, and I don't think the conversation is completely unnecessary. But if you just complaining, again, I'm gonna tell you, sit your ass down. Like, we don't want to hear it. We tired. The girls are tired. We are tired. Leave us alone. Bye.